Happy day, students. Welcome to SAN Academy, Palikarne, Class 8 Science, Chapter 14, Chemical Effects of Electric Current, Part 2. In Part 1, in the end of the session, we discussed about how we can make an electric tester using another effect of electric current, that is by using the deflection of magnetic needle. So, we are going to continue the same and how we are going to test with that tester in order to see which all liquids are capable of passing the electric current and which are all considered to be as a good conductor. So, as a recap, again I'll just give you the instruction how to make an electric tester or another electric tester by using a magnetic needle in order to make sure that the tester is working. So take the tray from inside a discarded matchbox. Wrap an electric wire a few times around the tray. Place a small compass needle inside it. Now connect one free end of the wire to the terminal of a battery. Leave the other end free. Take another piece of wire and connect it to another terminal of the battery. Join the free ends of two wires momentarily. The compass needle should show deflection. If it shows deflection, your tester with two free ends of wire is ready. Now repeat activity 2 using this tester. Do you find deflection in compass needle? The moment you dip the free ends of the tester in lemon juice, take out the ends of the tester from the lemon juice, dip them in water and then wipe them dry. Repeat the activity with other liquids such as tap water, vegetable oil, milk, honey, etc. And always remember to wash and wipe dry the ends of the tester after testing each liquid. In each case, observe the magnetic needle shows deflection or not, and the observation will be in this way, where your lemon juice, it will show in lemon juice your magnetic needle will show deflection and hence it is a good conductor, whereas in vinegar also it shows deflection, in tap water also it shows deflection and hence vinegar and tap water are good conductor, whereas in vegetable oil it does not show any deflection and hence it is a poor conductor, and milk it shows deflection and hence it is a good conductor, whereas honey does not show any deflection and hence it is a poor conductor. We have tested the conduction of electricity through tap water. Now let us test the conduction of electricity through distilled water. What do you think? Do you think that distilled water will also conduct electricity? Okay, let us check it out. Take about 2 teaspoonful of distilled water in a clean and dry plastic or a rubber cap of a bottle. You may obtain distilled water from your school science lab, or you may even get it from the medical store or a doctor, or even it is available in petrol bunk, and use the tester to test water whether distilled water conducts electricity or not. What do you find? We will see that the distilled water will not conduct electricity because our magnetic needle will not show any deflection. Now dissolve a pinch of common salt in distilled water. Again test it. What do you think what we will observe? Can you guess it out? Yes, we can see the deflection of magnetic needle. So when salt is dissolved in distilled water, we obtain salt solution, and this is a conductor of electricity. The water that we get from sources such as tap, hand pumps, wells and pond is not pure. It may contain several salts dissolved in it, and small amount of mineral salts are naturally present in it. This water is thus a good conductor of electricity. On the other hand, distilled water is free of salt and hence it is a poor conductor of electricity. So we have found that common salt when dissolved in distilled water makes it a good conductor. What are the other substances which when dissolved in distilled water make it conducting? Let us find it out. So again what we are going to do is we are going to take again 3 clean plastic or rubber caps of bottles and pour about 2 teaspoons of distilled water in each of them. And now instead of adding salt, we are going to add few drops of lemon juice, dilute hydrochloric acid to the distilled water in one cap, and in the second cap we are going to mix few drops of base such as caustic soda or potassium hydroxide or iodide, and to the third cup we are going to add a little sugar. And now we can test which solution is going to conduct electricity and which do not conduct, and the result from what we are going to get, we can come to a conclusion that most liquids that conduct electricity are solutions of acids, bases and salts, but it is not applicable in the case of sugar. So, when an electric current flows through a conducting solution, does it produce an effect on the solution? That is, does it cause any change in the solution? Come on, let us find it out. So, what we are going to do here is take out the carbon rods carefully from two discarded cells, so that make sure that the metal cap is still fixed to the carbon rod, and clean the metal caps with sandpaper. Wrap copper wire around the metal cap of the carbon rod and join them to the battery as it is shown in the figure, and we call these two rods henceforth as electrodes, and electrodes are generally those which allow the current to pass through them. And instead of carbon rod from the battery, you can also use iron rods or iron nails, which is about 6 centimeter long. Now pour a cup full of water in a glass or a plastic bowl. Add a teaspoon of salt or few drops of lemon juice to water to make it more conducting. Now immerse the electrodes in the solution, but while you are immersing, make sure that the metal caps are above the water, and wait for 3 to 4 minutes. And when you are observing carefully, you can see that the bubbles will be coming out near the electrodes, and these are nothing but the result of chemical change. So, the passage of an electric current through a conducting solution causes reactions, that too chemical reactions. As a result, bubbles of gas may be formed on the electrodes. Deposits of metals may be seen on electrodes, which we will be learning in detail under the topic electroplating. Even the color of the solution may change. The reaction would depend upon what solution and the electrodes that is being used. These are some of the chemical effects of electric current. It was in a scientist called William Nicholson, who was born in 1753, and in 1800 he had shown that if electrodes were immersed in water and current was passed, bubbles of oxygen and hydrogen were produced, and oxygen bubbles formed on the electrode which is connected to the positive terminal of the battery, and the hydrogen bubbles formed on the other electrode which is connected to the negative terminal of the battery. So, let us test whether some fruits and vegetables also conduct electricity or not. So, as we all know, the entire book is only talking about Boju and Pahli. So, Boju decided to test whether some fruits and vegetables also conduct electricity or not. So, he cut a potato into two halves and inserted the copper wire of a tester into it. Just then, his mother called him, and he forgot to take out the wires of the tester inserted into potato. When he came back after an hour, he noticed that there was a greenish blue spot on the potato around one wire, whereas there was no such spot around the other wire. He was surprised with this observation, and along with Paheli repeated these activities many times. They found that it was always the wire connected to the positive terminal which had greenish blue spot around it. They felt that this discovery was very useful because it could be used for identifying the positive terminal of a cell or a battery connected in a box. They decided to report their findings to in a children's magazine. Remember that Boju set out to test whether potato conducted electricity or not. What he found was the current produced a chemical effect in the potato. To him, this was very exciting. In fact, this is how science sometimes works. You are looking for something and you discover something else. Many important discoveries have been made only in this manner, and this activity we can also do even in our home. Thank you, students.